In this video, I'll show you how you can configure cross-domain tracking in Google Analytics 4 for your website, and also how to validate that it is working as expected. Before showing you how to set this up, let's first understand what is cross-domain tracking and why do we need to implement it from the first place. Before showing you how to set this up, let me actually show you why it is needed. So I'm currently on my two websites, so totally two different domains, and this is called cross-domain. The first domain is ahmadteststore99.myshopify.com, and the second store is www.webanalyticscommunity.com. Each website obviously is on different domain, and on this first domain I have this link over here which directs me to the second domain, which is the Web Analytics community. When I navigated from the first domain to that second domain, Google Analytics 4 actually will not consider me as a new user, because when I navigated the first website, Google Analytics acknowledged that I am a specific user and it assigns me a specific ID like 123 or any random number. And then when I go to the other domain, the same thing happened. Google Analytics 4 considers me as another user and assigns me a different unique ID, which means that Google Analytics is not recognizing me as the same user. And this is when the cross-domain tracking is needed. To configure this, you need to have the same Google Analytics property installed on both websites. If that's the case, open that property, go to admin, and then go to data streams under data collection and modifications. Select your stream, go down and select configure tag settings, scroll and select configure your domains. Then you'll need to add your domains like this way without www. And you can use either contains or exactly matches, but I like using contains. Now let me show you how you can test or validate if this is working or not. You can either open the website directly or just open Google Tag Manager and hit preview, add then your website URL and hit connect. Right click on any part of the screen and hit inspect. Go to the network panel over here, type in collect ? And then reload the page. Now let's select the head that contains the stream ID of our property, and these are the heads, and that's my stream ID. So I'll just click on it and make sure I'm looking at the page view events, and this is essentially an event that is sent to Google Analytics. So scroll down, and for event name EN, we should be seeing the value of page view. And then let's scroll up and we will find something called CID, which stands for Client ID. And that's the ID that I mentioned earlier in the video that Google Analytics assigns to users once they are on your website. And let's now copy this value and save it somewhere. I'll just paste it here just to save it. Now let's go to the preview mode window as well and see what are the client ID values over there. So just select your Google Analytics 4 measurement ID, select the page view event, and then you will find the naming here as client ID or similarly to what we just mentioned, CID, and you will find the same value over here. So let's go back to the website and go to the other domain and see if that value stays the same or not. So ideally it should stay the same. We are now on the new or the other domain that we have, and notice that now we are having these strange URL query parameter over here, which Google actually adds them by default if the cross-domain tracking feature is enabled while you are using the same Google Analytics property ID or stream ID. And this tells me that the feature is working. What we can do to validate this is just by opening the developer tools again, but we'll need actually to refresh so we can see the network request, because this will only work if you have it opened before you open the page or reload the page. And we can actually, before doing that, we can actually go back to the same preview window and we can see that that's the new tab of the new page that we opened for the other domain, and open the page view event. This is different from the one in here. So you can just click on this new tab and then page view. And if you hit enter within the search feature in the browser, we would see that it has the same client ID, and this confirms that the cross-domain tracking is working as expected, and Google Analytics 4 is identifying the user on both sites as one and not as separate users. But let's also go to the web analytics community and reload the page, so we can get that from the network request as well. And by the way, if you don't know that community, this is a web analytics community that I have built that is specially designed for non-technical people, helping them understanding and mastering web analytics. I'll leave the link to that community in the comments as well. But yeah, let's now check the network request itself. So when we check the network request, we can see that the same client ID is here, which also confirms that the cross-domain tracking is working as expected. That's it for this video. I would really appreciate it if you can subscribe to the channel, as 85% of the people watching my videos are not subscribed. So I would really appreciate it, and it will motivate me to creating more content and maintaining this channel. That was Ahmed, and I'll see you in the next video.